It's my pleasure to introduce tonight's panelists. First is Carol Ortlip. Carol is based in Westminster West. She actually studied for a time with Susan Grimaldi. Carol has been an educator for 30 years, and for the past dozen or so years, she's been working specifically with kids on the autism spectrum. Currently, Carol is the academic director of Brattleboro's new school called Inspire for Autism. It's about 1.5 years old. The school has 12 students ranging in age from 11 to 22. And as Carol was explaining to me before the film tonight, part of the school's philosophy is that the way to break through with kids who are on the autistic spectrum, to engage those kids, is through relationships, through building relationships, that's a way out for the kids who are struggling and a way in for the people who are engaging with them. So we're very happy to have Carol here. And Susan Grimaldi is based in Montpelier. Susan has been a practicing shaman for 35 years. She has worked and studied in Mongolia and elsewhere in North Asia. Susan is part Native American from the Choctaw Nation, and she does shamanic healings both in person and remotely. And Sass Carey, who is based in Middlebury, is a nurse and an energy healer. And Sass is the director of an organization called Nomadicare, which brings together Western and traditional medicine in rural Mongolia. Sass has worked in the region where the movie was filmed, knows many of the people in the film, and in fact helped heal the shaman Ghost, who appears toward the end of the movie and is working with the boy Rowan. So we're very pleased to have such a great panel.
What struck me about the film, I've saw it twice, was the relationship. And we see that over and over again at Inspire. Parents who will find a way to take away the trauma and the anxiety that go with being autistic, having autism. And what we do at Inspire, which I think is similar to sometimes to using shamanic healing, something begins to shift. And we see it almost, I would see it almost as a cellular shift. I mean, I have a bit of a science background, so I know there are things that can happen in the body. You all know that. You're probably here because you believe that. And when you allow a relationship, a deep one, to occur, something happens for them. And they are able to start opening up, and they're able to start to learn in ways that we did not think they were capable of. And the staff that we have and the commitment that we have, the parents being involved, it's astonishing. It really is. And I think that the film almost supports that premise.
What particularly impressed me when watching the movie was that there's a language of the heart, and there's a way that we communicate that's beyond our verbal words. And I think it's clear that when Rowan came upon the horse initially and that bond soothed him, that they were communing. And when I watched him with the shamans, I felt that he was drawn to the shamans and that the shamans somehow linked clearly on a heart and soul level. And I think they were merging in a way that left the potential for transformation. And that's what fascinated me, how he would want to see the shamans. He didn't want to leave the shamans. He wanted to crawl on them. He talked about them a lot in between times. There was something that he could sense that drew him and attracted him. And that's what fascinated me. What is that quality? What goes on there? And I think that it's some kind of language of the heart, and it's based in love. And I think that's what this movie was really about, bringing love back and to the family after the disruption of this discovery, and what they each went through emotionally, and the disturbance that impacted the family. I think somehow the love was the medicine.
Thank you, Susan.
Before Rupert, the father, went to Mongolia, I talked to him for some hours on the phone, and I would never have suggested that he take Rowan to the reindeer herders, because I've been there on the horse myself so many times, and it's terrifying. It's so dangerous, and I would just never take any 5-year-old kid there. So that's, you know, when I see it, I'm amazed. And I talked to him when he got back, and he told me what kind of changes happened and how it happened. And the week before he was there, that was 2007, I was there, staying with Ghost, staying with Honda, his niece, and Batumar, her little boy. And at 6:30, when we had the first part of this, I showed the movie where I was actually doing a healing on him, on Ghost, on the shaman, the week before. And then he did say to me, there's some people coming from Ulaanbaatar here, and they didn't get there before we left. We left, and then 1 week later, Rupert and Rowan and that group went. So I think when I see the movie, and I've seen it twice too, I'm not so involved with the story. I'm more involved with seeing my friends. You know, I guess that's what I would say. And I've seen many shaman ceremonies there, and been making a movie of shamanism, of Mongolian shamanism. That's the first part I want to say about that. And the second part I want to say about what I'm doing right now, from having done healthcare with these people and taking hygiene kits, teaching them how to floss, taking them vitamin C, the reindeer herders. I'm making a commitment to do a bigger project of improving healthcare for all nomads in Mongolia, and working on that this summer. And so this summer, in June, I'll be up with Ghost and Honda and the reindeer herders, and in July I'll be in the Gobi Desert working on improving healthcare for all the nomadic herders in those two areas.